Welcome back to Monty Makes. I did a video on level 3 red, kind of giving a deck list. I'm going to go through the deck list again and then kind of talk about some of the key cards and things that I like to play, different matchups, and kind of starting hands just to give an idea and a feel of how I like to play the deck and how I feel the deck should be played. Again, people might not agree or people might have different views, but that's okay. Let's get right into it. First thing up, Tiger Lily Cookie. That is a one of because it is restricted. Next we have 4 Snapdragon Cookie. Snapdragon is going to be the only other 1-drop that we play. We don't play any 1-drop in our flips as well. Next we'll go into the level 2s. Level 2 is Capsaicin Cookie. We play that as a 3 of. Next we have Wildberry Cookie, which is our best 2-drop because of the extra damage you get from Soul Jam and on play. Mala Sauce Cookie is our best cookie early game. It takes a lot of things out before our opponent can get on board and get some any kind of presence. Next we have in the level 3s we have Pitaya Dragon. The best level 3 in the deck is Hollyberry Cookie. Hollyberry Cookie does a lot of damage, gets around a lot of damage as well. Last but not least, as our finisher, we have Wildberry Cookie. Once we get to break level 9, we can get 6 attack, which pretty much kills everything in the game. Next we have our flips. I play 12 HP flips and 4 draw flips. We have 4 Scovella, 4 Pistachio Cookie, 4 Jungleberry Cookie, and then for our draw flips, we play 4 Rose Cookie. Next we go into our items and traps. For our traps, we only play 4 overhydrated Doe Swamps. I've tried to play some of the other traps. I feel this is the only one that needs to be played. Next we have 4 Prickly Cactus Glove. Prickly Cactus Glove gets around traps and a lot of things that yellow and purple might bring against you. Same goes with 4 Cherry Bombs. That also is direct damage that can't be trapped. And then rounding it off, 4 of our Soul Jam of Light and Passion. This goes well with Wildberry Cookie as well as something that could be equipped to Hollyberry Cookie. So like I said, when it comes to draw flips, I basically only look at these specific 16. The only reason that I play 4 draw is coming from a background with a lot of other games. When you are playing any kind of aggro red, you basically just want to kill your opponent. Drawing cards is great, don't get me wrong, but you basically want to use up all your resources and just pretty much keep attacking, keep on going. The HP flips help your Hollyberry live. Helps your Pitaya Dragon live, and sometimes even your Mala Sauce Cookie can live with it, which is good because then you can redirect and ping a damage back. So these are what I like to stick with. Obviously you don't want to see these in any kind of opening hand. As for early game cookies, Mala Sauce is going to be one of, if not the best. It is a 2 for 2, so giving up a level 2 early is kind of rough, but most opponents can't attack until 3 support. For me, I like to go first. Drawing the 2 extra cards doesn't matter to me, and being ahead on support is also very good, which means Mala Sauce Cookie gets to get to 2 quicker, and it also gets to attack and kill a lot of early game things. So this is going to be one of the big starters. My other favorite 2-drop, and probably the best, is going to be the Wildberry Cookie. Wildberry Cookie can come in on your turn 2, you can discard a card, deal 1, next turn set up for 3 or even 4 damage depending on if you have a Soul Jam in play. So when you do have one of these Soul Jams, this will deal an extra 1 damage. As for level 3s, our best level 3 is going to be Hollyberry and Pitaya. These are good for 2 different reasons. Hollyberry can tank a lot of damage. She's very hard to kill. Very situational things like purple has Stardust Cookie, blue has Madeline Cookie, things that get around her 2 damage. But that's okay because most things that people play will not be able to. So if anything, it will take at least 3 swings to kill Hollyberry Cookie. The other reason Pitaya Dragon is good because a lot of decks will start off with some 1-drops, and just the on play is a free level 1 that gets sent to the break area. So when it comes to matchups, purple and yellow are obviously the 2 biggest ones that we see right now. Things will obviously change in the new set, but going into it, yellow is a very, I want to say 60-40 matchup for me. I feel like it's still a good matchup, but sometimes there's HP flips and Earl Greys and playing around traps, and I think that just becomes very hard to deal with, which is why in this deck I went with 4 Cherry Bombs and 4 Prickly Cactus Gloves. These help you play around Millennial Jade Deer, Winding Key, if they play any other kind of trap that will help gain HP. I think this plays around it very well. Unfortunately, if you get stuck in like a Kumiho lock or the game goes a little bit longer than you want to, then you'll probably have a little bit of trouble. But again, in those matchups, I still feel like red has a very good matchup against both of them. When it comes to the purple matchup, the purple matchup is very interesting because you only want to play one thing at a time. You never want 2 cookies on the field unless it's beneficial to you. Pitaya Dragon also becomes very good because purple does play a lot of level 1s that it automatically breaks. You know, Twizzly Gummy, Hydrangea, you know, any of those that come in will automatically get broken, and it kind of puts behind. You may get Wind Archered and stuff like that, but that's okay, you know. As long as you play around all those things and playing 1 cookie at a time, it becomes a little bit easier for you. In the purple matchup, I especially love not playing anything too heavy. You can start out with a mala sauce cookie, you can start out with a capsaicin cookie, things that you don't care about going early or getting trashed. And once you've kind of exacerbated your opponent's hand and get him to use some of the wind archers and stuff like that, that's when you can allow for more things to be put on board, especially if they put themselves in a 2 cookie lock. Then you can start working on both cookies and breaking things. The other thing about the purple and yellow matchup is I try to avoid playing 1-drops as early on as possible until I can get some kind of beneficial trade out of it. Snapdragon Cookie and Hollyberry Cookie do very well together. They synergize well. Hollyberry gets to attack for 4, Snapdragon gets to attack for 2. Same with if you have a mala sauce cookie and a Snapdragon, maybe early game, as this is the only time I'm willing to sacrifice a Snapdragon. But some of the early game things, other than that, I usually will tend to avoid to play Snapdragon, let them trash some things that aren't worth it, or maybe use up resources that will help slow them down in the longer run. As for other things, let's talk about starting hands. What do I like to see out of a starting hand? Well, obviously I've told you these are my 3 favorite cards. If you see these in your starting hand, it's a pretty good keep. If you see Mala Sauce Cookie, it's usually a keep because you do so much damage early on. The other thing that I like to see is Prickly Cactus Gloves. Prickly Cactus Gloves is your only real 2-drop or 2 damage or 2 attack that you can do besides Mala Sauce Cookie, and that's the reason I really switched to playing 4 of them, because it allows me to get off a little bit of earlier damage instead of wasting a turn. So this is another one that I'll like to see. I also will like to see a Dough Swamp at any time. Dough Swamp feels really good. The only time it doesn't feel as good as it could be is obviously if you're playing against purple, but that's okay. Some later games they have to attack and they have to break everything. If you play it smart and play things one by one, you'll kind of force them to be a little bit more aggressive than they typically want to be. So if I were to give a starting hand, any of these 5 will probably be my top 5 to see. You don't really know what your opponent may be playing, so even if you see a Pataya Dragon, I will like to keep one of those as well because it can be an early break and an early damage on board. Other than that, when it comes to the red mirror is a little bit rough. Pataya Dragon becomes not very good. It becomes a battle of who can have the most holly berries out, who can have the most dough swamps to kind of keep them alive and keep them out of the aggression, which is fine, but you know, the biggest and most important thing to me is going first. I think in that matchup, if you go first, you have at least, I don't know, I want to say at least a 70-30 chance to be the one that's going to win that matchup because you're ahead on attacking, you're ahead on, you know, you're ahead on resources, stuff like that. I don't think the extra 2 cards matter by going second, and you also, in most, I guess not all of them, my list is different with the level 3. The only level 1s that you play is 4 Snapdragon, 1 Tiger Lily cookie. I could see if you were playing a Tartarian cookie or something like that, then maybe going second might be good because you can put a 1 extra damage and you get 2 extra cards. But I think in the level 3 deck, I think it's something that you wanna, you know, continuously go first, be ahead, attack with Mala first, put a lot of damage, and just keep putting pressure on your opponents. As for the next set, unfortunately, I think with me, I'm still going to keep the level 3 theme going, which means Mala Sauce might get cut, Wild Berry might get cut, Snapdragon might be cut. So we'll see what the deck looks like. I know Timekeeper is also going to be a red card that's very good and gets added to the deck that kind of stops purple a little bit, but I don't think that I will stray away from the level 3. I think it's just too good, it's too powerful. Hollyberry is too strong of a card, Wild Berries are too strong of a card, and I think that's something that I'm going to continue to use, but unfortunately the West plays the game a little bit different than Southeast Asia does, so I'm very interested to see how all these lists will come together. And then we also have March coming up, which should have a PPG event for Cookie Run. So we'll see a lot of things shape up and see how the format goes from there. But until then, you know, this is what I'm going to play until the end of the season. There's not very many days left. I'm currently sitting in 10th on the leaderboard, which is pretty good. I'm very happy about that. So let's see if we can get a strong finish with red and look forward to seeing what the next set has for us. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment on what you think about the video and maybe any opinions you have on red or things that could be changed. Please feel free to let me know. Thank you.